Well, after a round of dangerous storms yesterday, there's the threat for more severe weather today in the plains. Thanks for joining us live here at AccuWeather HQ. A lot to talk about from southern Kansas all the way down to central Texas. Let's take a look at the radar here. A lot of heavy rain made it overnight from the storms yesterday, especially around the Wichita area. Let's get in with a closer look here. Flooding being reported to the north and west of town, especially in these neighborhoods north and west of downtown Wichita. Over an inch-and-a-half of rain being reported in some spots, some flooding on some of the side streets, and some major roadways having a little bit of an issue as well. Notice parts of 35 heading out towards Emporia dealing with the soaking rain as well, and traveling southbound along 35. Boy, that's going to be tough as we go through the next couple of hours because those storms just not moving much. Meanwhile, in the Dallas area, things have settled down a little bit. This round of storms was pretty impressive earlier on today. You can see this line heading to the north of Dallas. That had some gusty winds and heavy rain, but as we went through the mid-morning hours, things tended to settle down, and that's how things tend to go. Mid-morning is where the atmosphere is most stable, but it's later this afternoon that we're going to be more concerned about. So let's take a look at the setup as we go through the day today. We've got dry air coming out of the desert southwest, and it's meeting right up with tons of Gulf moisture. That means that we're going to be looking at that clash of those air masses as we go through the next 12 to 24 hours, and that's what's setting the stage for the severe weather. So another way to look at moisture, what we call dew point. It's a measure of how humid the air is. Usually when it gets into the 60s, that's noticeable humidity, especially if you live in the north. 70s, that's where we're talking about some serious humidity. So 77 there in Corpus Christi, 70 in Houston, but notice off to the west, dew points are only in the 20s and 30s. So where we have all this moisture meeting up with all this dry air, that's what we call a dry line. And that is a very key mechanism for setting off all these stronger storms. As we go through today, the enhanced risk is once again from southwest Oklahoma down through west Texas. That's not only the best chance at getting severe weather, it's also our best chance to see a tornado or two. We saw several yesterday, even a couple of large tornadoes as well. Hail is also going to be a big concern. So here's a closer view of some of those towns from Woodward, Oklahoma down through the Odessa area. There was a very large tornado near Big Spring, Texas yesterday. Tornadoes unfortunately possible again today, along with damaging winds and very large hail as some of these supercell type storms get going. So here's a look at Futurecast to get an idea for the timing. This is at about 8 p.m. Eastern time, so 7 Central time, and this is where these supercells tend to do their best during that late afternoon, early evening, unstable air. Couple cells popping up from I-40 down towards I-20. They'll move eastward, much like they did into the early morning hours today, and end up in the Dallas area towards Oklahoma City and Wichita once again. As we go into the early morning hours, the threat is going to transition more to heavy rain and some gusty winds. It's early on when we get those individual supercell type storms this evening that we're looking at that tornado threat into the high plains in particular. Into the day tomorrow, the threat continues. It is going to be more widespread. Slight risk represented here in the yellow area. That means the storms will be somewhat isolated, but any storms that do develop have the good chance at being strong to severe. That covers an area from Omaha all the way down towards Odessa, and there's a couple of enhanced areas there in orange in southwest Nebraska, in parts of western Oklahoma. Once again, could be some ripe areas for tornado development. So once again, expecting an active day in the central part of the U.S. Make sure you keep it tuned to AccuWeather.com over the next couple of days. We'll keep you ahead of all these storms.